Fingerprint changer. Educational grade hand warmer. Teaches consequences. Fast, memorable lessons. Practical science. Demonstrates heat transfer instantly. Surface awareness. Best used where you probably shouldn't. Works best on expensive surfaces. Learn it. Touch it. Regret it. A hands-on learning experience. That is absolutely true, especially that last part. It's Saturday, I'm Akorn, and today we're going back to the days when entertainment came from Blockbuster, food was still real, and nobody's refrigerator connected to the internet. Hit that like and subscribe, and let's get into today's show, starting with the AkornTV Weekly Puzzle. This week's clue is movie quote, and the letters RSTLNE, out of which we only get 2 E's. So, drop your guesses in the comments, and stay tuned, because we'll have the reveal later on in the show. I'm 27, and still terrified that consuming anything from the hotel minibar will somehow bankrupt my family. Hey, that's a rational fear. The standard U.S. ammo belt was 27 feet long, 9 yards. This is where the expression, the whole 9 yards, comes from. I'm pretty sure I heard about this before, but it's been a long time ago. When my mom is yelling at me and my grandma got my back. What would you do if someone came to your wedding dressed like this? Xavier. Guys, you're worried about the wrong person. And why is it that most of us probably didn't see the other guy at all until Xavier mentioned it? They're hiding in plain sight. Grandpa, the TV's broken again. Give it a good smack on the right side and adjust the foil. Yeah, back in the days when a lot of electronics could be temporarily fixed with some percussive maintenance. Yeah, these guys need to get back on the road ASAP and fix our broken timeline. Well, I don't know. Some of these Mandela effects might be from someone screwing with something. Who knows? On the other hand, things are only getting worse anyway, so... Dad with daughter. Dad with son. If all you get are bills, why don't you just get rid of the mailbox? Well, you can't argue with the logic exactly, especially back in the day. And now today, this is even more true, because just about the only kind of mail that you do get now is either junk mail or bills. When your son or daughter is out past curfew, this will set the correct mood upon entry. Well, it might correct your mood, because you'd probably be cracking up about it. I don't think it's going to correct their mood, though. Meanwhile, in the office break room, it was an insurance scam. I mean, come on, the guy who blew it up was the dude's son. Like, I know they say they were estranged, but they were clearly in on it together for the insurance money. There were delays during construction, and Vader knew it had design flaws. It was never going to make back its investment, so they staged a rebel raid, and Vader was the only one to survive. It's so obvious. You know, they should have made another Star Wars movie that released at the same time, but from the other point of view. You know, like in the movie From the Dark Side, right? And then at the end of it, after the credits and everything, that's where this conversation fits in. Which one brought you the closest to death? I never got injured too bad on playground equipment, but the worst was probably the top left. Speaking of which, what do you guys remember those being called? Where I grew up, we called them merry-go-rounds, but that's not right, because that's the ones at carnivals and such with the fake horses that kids ride. I googled it a while ago, and it shows they're called roundabouts, but I never remember hearing that name. So let me know what you guys called them. When someone brings up the Sinbad genie movie that doesn't exist. Yeah, it was called Shazam. Long before I ever heard the Mandela Effect, I remember every time I'd go into a store or something, I'd look through the movies to see if I could find another copy of that. This would have been a number of years later, and it just seemed like I couldn't find it anywhere. Then, however many years later, I heard about it in one of the Mandela Effects that, oh, it never existed. Yeah, okay. All of us who remember it all remember that it was Sinbad playing a genie in a movie called Shazam. All of us that remember the movie all remember the same details. But sure, it never existed. And before anybody leaves it in the comments, no, it was not this fake-looking knockoff movie called Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal. Here's a blooper reel that I came across of Robin Williams and Elmo. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I thought it was kind of funny. Take a listen.
Oh, Mr. Williams!
Elmo.
What are you going to do with that stick?
Oh, there's lots of things you can do with this stick, Elmo. Hey, maybe you can be playing hockey with it, like...
Yeah, I've been a goalie now for about 3 years, and it hasn't affected me.
Maybe it could be like...
A baton. There you are, conducting a full orchestra. Thank you, Madonna, for that lovely lingerie melody. I better go back. We'll never be able to do that. I realized.
Or it could be a cane.
Well, Nancy and I are just happy to be here.
Or you can play Pinocchio, the home game. I have 2 Academy Awards, Elmo. Stuff like that, you know, Elmo. Just simple things. Yeah.
Whoa.
And I told you I'm going to do with this stick.
What?
I'm going to give it to you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Robbins.
Mr. Robbins? Taking the stick back, Elmo.
I only had 3 lines!
Me watching a remake of an 80s classic movie. Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to remake a movie unless it is a reboot of a movie that flopped the first time. Stop making bad reboots of great movies. Bench seats were made for good dogs and cute girls. The engineer who got rid of them clearly had neither. A barefoot country kid's biggest nightmare. Yeah, but that didn't stop us. I'd run down our gravel driveway barefoot, just because my feet were so tough from being outside barefoot all the time. The most unbelievable thing in movies is when someone guesses the password of a computer that's not theirs. I can't even figure out my own password that I changed yesterday. This is true in some ways, but on the other hand, I've heard of a number of businesses who had their security bypassed because they were still using the default password, or because it was something like 12345 or whatever. The only therapy dog that can handle all my problems. Spaceballs is a better Star Wars movie than the entire Disney Star Wars trilogy. As far as I can remember, I've only seen pieces of the newer Star Wars movies. However, I don't need to watch them to know that Spaceballs is a much better movie. I do wonder about Spaceballs 2, though. Game Warden, anything in your boat today that shouldn't be? Just you. Yep, that is a fact check true. My car if gas prices keep going up. It's gonna be a rough ride with that suspension. In the I'm getting old department, a kid saw this and said, "Oh, you 3D printed the save icon." We've come full circle, guys. When babies got fresh air from window cages, 1937. And they got this side open without even any wire across it. And you best hope that that cable don't break for any reason. Give yourself 1 point for each thing you've never done. I'm not going to read all of these. You guys can pause the video if you'd like to. But I got 0 points. How many points did you guys get? Me, I just want a small snack. My brain at 2 a.m. Summon the Stay Puffs more. There's a 99% chance that I don't care. When I get a headache, I take 2 aspirin and keep away from children, just like it says on the bottle. Well, if one of them doesn't help, the other might. I can hear these pictures. Yes, we can. Ferris Bueller's actual day off was 41 years ago, on June 5th, 1985. Scientists say we are likely the very last generation that will see fireflies. Well, we still have quite a few of them around here. What about you guys? You guys see lightning bugs a lot anymore? Okay, people, what do we do if we end up having to arrest your own mom? Call for backup. Beavis and Butthead are in their 70s now. I used to be young and fun. Now I have a preferred pharmacy. Sad, but true. Boldly go in style. The Shatner Collection. Exclusively at JCPenney. I don't think I ever saw that one. Any of you guys remember this? Some of y'all's picks. Yeah, I've seen some of these so-called influencers who got caught during a live stream when their filter glitched out. When the party is over and you're the only one who came by car. This new generation needs to know. It's because they don't know is the reason that society has ended up where we are right now. The clue for today's puzzle was movie quote. Let's see how many of you got it right. The answer is, go ahead, make my day. Congratulations to the winners, and let me know if you liked this week's puzzle. It's the weekend in 1984. What are you watching? Well, I probably would have been Indiana Jones first, and Ghostbusters would have been number 2. Gen Z kids will never know of the 1991 17-week-long reign of terror brought about by Bryan Adams and the Robin Hood soundtrack. I don't know. Do you guys remember it being a 17-week-long reign of terror? I know it was pretty popular there for a while. Something very undull happened on my usually very straightforward commute. I indeed turned my van around on the highway to get a second look. Behold, possibly the most exciting thing to have happened to me since I met my wife. Yeah, that figures. Leave it to a varmint like that to steal a whole piece of pizza. The funny thing is, the coloring on that cat looks almost identical to my mom's, except her cat isn't nearly that heavy. I've been teaching for 20 years, and I have never seen a student do this before. At least the kid doesn't have the nuclear launch codes. First off, when did we ever have to do math and were given a multiple choice answer? Especially when 3 of those answers are very obviously wrong just glancing at them. And yet, this kid goes and adds a 5th choice because the test giving him the right answer right there wasn't good enough. We welcome all denominations, but prefer 10s and 20s. Yeah, that's a lot of those places. High deer area. They will eat it, believe it or not. If you know, you know. And that music that follows them everywhere. I think my patience is at the bottom of this coffee cup. Hang on while I find it. Yeah, I lost all my patience a long time ago. The correct spelling of school is school, not school. Some people put the second O before the first O, and that's incorrect. Too bad none of us come up with an answer like this back when we were in English class. If you like today's show, you'll love this one that'll pop up right here. The next AkornTV live stream Hangout and Smoke session is tonight, June 20th at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can search on Twitch for AkornTV, or you can find this and all other links down below in the video description. I'll be back tomorrow on my other channel, AkornStash, for the latest episode of Laugh While the World Burns, which airs every Sunday. Until then, I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this weekend. This is Akorn, over and out.